Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Shubhangi. I take care of everything content here at Engati. And today we are starting off with our one-off series, Masterclass. Masterclass is something that we wanted to begin with because we've been speaking to a lot of our customers, we've been speaking to a lot of our brands, and a lot of them have been telling us that they have a lot of questions again around AI, and we want to help them. We want to help them with the best use cases, with the best implementations of how they can use AI to their maximum capabilities, of course. Joining me today is Jay. Hi, Jay. Jay Mehta has been with us with Engati for 5 years now. He's someone that I love working with. And of course, he's done a lot of research when it comes to ML and AI, of course. He's worked with multiple brands, done research as well, and helped a lot of brands, a lot of e-commerce brands establish AI into their businesses. So, Jay, why don't you go ahead and say a few words?
Yeah, right. So as you mentioned, right, I work as an ML engineer, senior ML engineer here.
Yes.
So what we really try to do with AI for e-commerce businesses is we try to achieve the end goal, which is reach to conversion, which
Mm-hmm.
is really the goal for most of the e-commerce brand, right? You really want
Yes.
to see have a new technology or a system set up which
Hmm.
eventually goes ahead and helps you set up and get to an end goal, which goes ahead and increases conversions. So
Yeah.
that is what we tried to do over the last 4 or 5 years that I've tried to help e-commerce brands, and we'll go ahead and continue doing this in future. Yeah.
Of course, of course. But Jay, I think before we start off, oh, we already have a question from Adam. Adam is asking if
Will
we'll
we
have
receive a
a copy of the video. Of course, Adam, we will be sending over the recording once we are done with the webinar in a day or two. Once we are ready, I think we should also wait for like another 4 5 minutes to let people join in. Meanwhile, I know you are in Bangalore, Jay. I am in Mumbai. How is Bangalore these days? How's Bangalore doing?
Oh, it's become much better now. It started
Really?
raining. So yeah, it
Yeah.
had become very hot and humid here. Now
Okay.
it started raining, so it's become much better.
Uh,
It's
we,
Mumbai.
we already have we already have 15, 16, 17 attendees. Why don't you all tell us? Please tell us where have you joined us from? We would love to know. And we have also put up a poll. As an e-commerce brand, have you used AI yet? Oh, we have Adam joining us from Mallorca, Spain. Wow, perfect. How is it do like how is Spain? How is Mallorca? Is it hot like how it is here in India right now? Okay, perfect. Yes, it's saying it's Adam says it's beautiful. It's the Caribbean on Europe. It sounds amazing. I would say I would love to visit sometime. Yes. Glenn is saying he's based out of Bangkok. Wow. How's Bangkok these days, Glenn? Is it hot, raining?
Predominantly.
Yeah, he's saying it's raining a little. Oh, it's in India also the rainy season has started. Yes, it is hot and humid slightly here as well. I think Mumbai in a few days, by next week, will start its torrential raining. Then it becomes very difficult. But till then, yeah. But it's beautiful, true. Regardless, yes. What else? Who else is there? Wow, we have more people joining in. It's so nice to know that there are so many brands out there who are so curious to know how they can implement AI better. I think.
Absolutely. So with this new wave, right, people have really started understanding. I think, and I think with ChatGPT coming in, people
Mhm.
really, because there was no launch kind of scenario. You
True.
really had somebody come back and tell you, saying, "Oh, there is a chat brand that can go and answer
Yes.
anything that you ask."
Yes.
And since then, people have gone ahead and started asking questions on top of it and getting what they want. So it is
Hmm.
really information at disposal.
Mm-hmm.
So what that really does is it gives, because people are getting accustomed to using it that way, it makes it all the more easier and, the need of the hour for newer brands, as in smaller and e-commerce brands, to go ahead and target the same audience, because ideally you are targeting the same end user.
That's
So
true. That's true. Yeah.
and because they've set up a benchmark
Mm-hmm.
that people you can get information by asking questions, and you can ask anything and get answer.
Mm-hmm.
That really goes ahead and sets up that baseline, saying why can somebody not in e-commerce having all that information not do it?
Yes, I
So
think
it
this
really
can
gives
be
you.
correlated to the fact that I think until 2 years ago, Google was like, your go-to search person. I'm using the word person because people actually treat it like a person, like asking, whatever they want to. And since ChatGPT has come in, I am personally, and I know people around me also, whenever we have a query, all we do is go ahead and just put it up on ChatGPT and wait for a reply to come in. Now, that is something that e-commerce brands, or I think users as well, should be able to do it on a brand's website, right? Whatever queries they have, a customer wanting to ask about any product, they should be able to do it on the to
Yeah.
the brand on the website. And this is where AI also comes in. So I think we should get started now. We have ample
Yeah.
people. Let me just start sharing my screen. Just give me a bit. Perfect. Let me know if this is
Yeah.
okay. Great. To start off with, I would first like to discuss everything that we will be discussing today. We will start off with what is happening with AI and AI in the world of e-commerce. I think this is something that we have also touched base upon just right now when we started our conversation. Second, we also want to talk about first mover advantage and why we want to talk and why it is essential in for e-com when it comes to AI. Then we want to talk about everything that AI can do for an e-commerce brand. And last, we will talk about how AI can help you with conversions. Now, let's begin with what is generative AI in e-com, right? Jay, I think since we've started working on this topic, since we have started researching on this, I think you are someone who would say is to say that you're obsessed would be an understatement. And you've been saying that, oh, Shwagi, why aren't brands doing this enough? Why aren't enough brands already using AI in their operations and everything? So why don't you go ahead and tell us what is generative AI in e-commerce?
So
Yeah,
what
Jay,
you
can you
go
hear me?
what try
Hello.
hello,
Yeah, yeah, Jay. Hi, can you hear me?
hello.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
What will really happen?
Hi,
Hello.
Jay. I think there's some slight connection problem over there in Bangalore. Just give us another 10 seconds and we should be able to fix this. Perfect. I think he's back. Yep. Hi, Jay. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah. Hi. Am I
Yes.
audible?
Yes, perfect. What I was talking about was that since we have started researching about this topic, I think to say that you're obsessed would be an understatement. You've been all in over about Shwangi, why aren't enough brands already using, right, AI? And
Correct.
since you're also in touch with so many of them, you've spoken to so many businesses who e-com businesses, and you have
Correct.
helped so many of them implement AI as well. I think you are someone who would be the perfect fit to explain to us what is generative AI in e-commerce.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, what I would like to do is I'd like to break this into two sets. What I'll do,
Okay.
first I'll go to what is AI
Mm-hmm.
and why AI, and
Mm-hmm.
then we'll really go to the generative AI pieces.
Okay.
So when we really come to AI, it is really a combination of getting data in and then putting it through a set of algorithms and systems to get you a final output that you're looking for. So most of your systems around data mining, looking at a lot of data, trying to analyze all those come in that line. Then you have a set of models that go ahead and decide you and help you making the final decisions.
Yeah.
Something like a recommendation engine, let's say. It then
Yes,
goes ahead, looks at a lot of data on past history, and then comes back and helps you analyze on what next to do.
that's
Uh,
true.
on very, very similar lines, let's just say for natural language processing, right? You have a user query who that comes in where let's say the user is looking for a pink t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
say to understand that a t-shirt is a product, b pink is a color, and that is what the end user is currently asking and looking for.
Mm-hmm.
How we really perceive it as a person when we see it, we really try to break these into items. So we know t-shirt is an object, pink is a color
Yes.
or an
Yes.
attribute.
Yeah.
And these are really something which an NLP pipeline in itself has done and has a stronghold on. And
Hmm.
hence, items like these, when we are looking at, let's say, the chatbot space
Yes.
or the assistant space for that
Hmm.
matter, we really use a lot of NLP to come back and get
Answer
to
questions, user queries, right? So
as
all of your FAQs, all of your chat queries that come in on the chatbot, NLP plays a huge role in it, right? I think next is computer vision. Jay, would you like to also explain this? There's some weird issue with his internet connection. Yeah, Jay. Yes, computer
yeah.
vision.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And coming to the last one, which is computer vision, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think most of us have really seen a part of it starting Google Lens. You really have a photo that you put, it really comes back and helps you identify
Mm-hmm.
where this place is, or what all the items are present in this. Some of the latest brands, they've really started, help you click a photo of it and
Yes.
go ahead and look up products and see whether these are available.
Yeah.
So these are really something that comes up through computer vision.
Okay.
When you look at images, try to extract details
Of
and
course, Google Lens, right? So Google
yeah,
Lens is also example for the same thing, just not in the
correct.
e-com space. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so this covers what is generative AI and various forms of
No,
AI
this
in
really
e-com.
covers what is AI. Now, when we
Yes.
get to generative AI,
Yes.
what has really happened and come up
Mm-hmm.
is a format in which there is a question, an answering model that
Okay.
looks up the questions that are coming in and
Mm-hmm.
tries to generate a response for you. The
Okay.
response can really be a textual response, or it can
Yeah.
be, let's say, images or videos.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
ask, and so that is a space that we are headed into. So let's say
Yes, that's true.
you come up with a question. You come up with a question saying, "Oh, can you get me a profile photo for myself where I am sitting, let's say, in Spain?"
Oh yeah, of course.
So having not gone to that space,
Yeah.
because having the model does have the knowledge on what are the key
Mm.
areas and key places where people visit in Spain, and will
Mm.
really come back and get you an image
Yeah,
of you being in Spain.
of course.
So these are items that we've really started exploring, as in we are really very nascent into that stage, and we
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
eventually, as we progress, we'll get to it
Of course.
even more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is how what generative AI does. How we as a business and how e-commerce can benefit from
Mm.
really comes in with more chat queries, generating your images for the products that you are trying to send, and
Yes.
really becomes a very small part of it. We though we'll cover most of it in a
Further
lengthier
detail
detail
later.
later,
Yes.
but yeah.
Okay. I know you're like dying to dive deeper. I know you're like just stopping yourself from talking more and more in detail about all of this. But before we get into the core topic, I want to cover because we mentioned earlier also when we were talking about what are the things that we are going to discuss, and first mover advantage was one of it. First, the reason we have brought up first mover advantage is because I said earlier also, not a lot of brands have been using AI, and not a lot of AI, e-commerce brands have been using AI to its maximum capabilities. First mover advantage is something they can really leverage. Now, to give you an example, we have Amazon bookstore, right? Earlier, whenever I had to go ahead and buy a book, I had to either go to the store near my house. Now, if that bookstore did not have that one particular book, that one particular edition that I wanted, I had to probably then go ahead and travel to another bookstore, which was maybe even if not 5 kilometers away, 10 kilometers away. It was a hassle. There was a lot of time that was spent, a lot of resources that was spent, right? And that is when Amazon came in. And now, if I have to go ahead and buy a book, which is even if a classic, I can just go ahead on Amazon, look for it, and purchase it. So, book buying is now equivalent to just Amazon. And
Yeah.
honestly, not just book buying, of course, but A to Z of everything. I think that is a perfect example of how first mover advantage can be leveraged.
Yeah.
There's also Mintra Studio. Mintra Studio is something, Jay, I think you'll be able to explain a lot better. So I don't.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think what Myntra really started doing is set up an entire space for influencers.
Mm-hmm.
So with the latest trend of software technologies coming up, people are dying to, you have Instagram where people are going and posting reels. So the
Yes.
reel culture, because of that culture coming up, Myntra went back and realized that people, when putting videos, are
Yes.
really wearing what they are selling, and those influencers have a larger reach than let's say Myntra spending in ads to sell their products. So
True.
how it went back and helped them is to set up a space or a wall where
Yes.
they would let influencers come up and post what they were
Yeah.
wearing
Yes.
in their reels. And along with that, Myntra would then have an algorithm to identify what was
Hmm.
being put and show
Hmm.
and recommend similar products to the viewers.
That's true. That's true.
What that really does, it gives you an ability to showcase the products that others are buying and how it
Hmm.
looks on, let's say, a person who would look very very similar to you, or
Yes.
of the same style.
Yes.
Along with that, there are a few other brands that have also done it. Maybe a virtual try-ons, right? There are
So
some good
Reliance Trends also we
brands
were
trends have
discussing the
started
other
doing.
day as well.
Lenskart
Yes.
has started doing
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Lenskart, they you are allowed
Yeah.
on the click, you are really able to see the frame that will suit best to your face.
Yes.
Items like these and companies like this are really started first and are really trying to make the most of this new AI trend that has come
Mm-hmm.
up. And
Hmm.
they've realized that people are accepting it in a way, and going ahead and making a purchase.
That's true. That's 100% true. Cool. I think we've discussed about why first mover advantage matters here. And it's time to go back to the core topic, which is AI for your e-commerce business. So why don't you tell us why should brands include AI in their business?
Okay, so while we bars down into why
Mm-hmm.
AI helps in e-commerce, there
Yeah.
are predominantly four major reasons
Hmm.
why people should go ahead and have AI. The first problem being personalization. So when we really look at personalization, let's just consider when I talk to this entire case, I'll really try to maintain a status quo between what happens earlier when you try to shop online versus when you do it offline or in a regular store. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
earlier when people used to go ahead and make a purchase, you really used to browse across three or four different sets and then come back and decide and look at a product. Now what really happens is, let's say, and now very similar thing on when you do it online. So when
Hmm.
people try to do it online, you go across multiple websites or web pages and then come back and look at a particular product. So based on the history that you have or based on your past purchase history, it makes it much more easier for me to recommend the product to you,
That's true.
and it increases the chance of me, getting a purchase. So if I
Hmm.
know that Shubhangi is a person who buys in the product range of 6,000 to 12,000, I
Mm-hmm.
can, and if I really have a good product range that I have within the price bucket, I
Mm-hmm.
can really push out a lot of products in that range, except than showing you products which are for a 3,000. So that is where your personalization bits help you. Next one, coming to inventory management. Now, when you come to inventory, people what they generally try
Hmm.
to do is look at past sales and try to
Hmm.
forecast what is really going to happen. So let's just consider a Black Friday or
Yes.
Cyber Monday sale. When you really know that people will come on a Friday and come back on a Monday, and over the weekend there will be a lot of traction. Let's say
Hmm.
for the electronics world. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, for these kind of scenarios, you really know that to meet the surplus demand, you will have to have a supply.
That's
The
true.
supply is something that will have to be managed across this sense. So you have a model that goes back and looks at your data and analyzes saying what is the total number of stock for each vertical across the brand that you need, and it will help
That's
you
true.
to get this through.
That's
So
true.
while there would really be an entire setup on that front,
Mm-hmm.
inventory management can really be handed over to an AI assistant to be, have that entire thing set up.
Of course.
The next one being chatbots and virtual assistants. Okay, being in the chatbot and assistant space,
Right.
I really there are a lot of examples that I can put through. Some of which we'll really cover in a demo that we'll do right at the end.
Mhm.
But the ideal example for this would be, to reach out to a larger audience
That's true.
and to get there in a non-blocking way. So let's just consider you have human agents who are supposed to answer to user questions.
Hmm.
There is a restriction that a person can answer to not more than 3 or 4 live sessions at a given point in time.
Of course. Hmm.
So what the chatbot or the virtual assistant will do, that it will handle all the basic FAQ kind of questions itself, and
Hmm.
only questions that are not being able to answer, or the one that it is not trained on, or scenarios on which the end user is not comfortable with the response that the assistant has given. Only those kind of queries will really come in through to your agent to chat.
Of course.
It
Of course.
really reduces a lot of workload for the manual agents to go back and respond.
And especially for FAQs, this stands very, I would say, important. A lot of you can just go ahead, feed in FAQs, train your bot, and then whenever a user comes in, types a similar query, the bot can just answer it, right? And also, this also helps you discover content across the website easily. So, for
Yeah,
example, if I am on an e-commerce app or a website and I go ahead and ask the chatbot a question about, hey, by the way, I want to buy a cream, but I have a combination skin. So I'm not sure if this would suit my face or not. So should I buy, what are the best creams for combination skin? What are the best sunscreen for combination skin? And then the bot can just go ahead and list down that, hey, by the way, these are six sunscreens that we think would fit you best. And if you want to know more, here is a blog that we have written about the same, and you can read more.
yeah,
So I think chatbots and virtual assistants is also something we spoke about earlier as well in terms of virtual trial rooms,
correct.
something that a lot of brands across the globe have been doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool. I think we have three more, which is
yeah.
of course fraud detection.
Yeah. So ideally, when we look at the word fraud detection, right, it really
Mhm.
turns up to it would really go into how people are trying to use this in the financial spaces. But
Yes.
when we look at it for our business, and I would not the word fraud can be really put through, right? So let's say there are, and I'll put it in a very different view space. Again, take it through in the agent view space only. So let's say there are
Okay.
10 agents that you have set up, and there are some
Hmm.
100 odd people that they are supposed to respond to.
Of course.
You really know that a few of these people are some who are really pass oners. So you
Yeah.
really know they are like me, who would come look at do a window shopping across 10 or 12 different pages, and then but not will not eventually go on and make a purchase. So
Hmm.
what it allows you to detect, it helps you detect people who are going to be beneficial for you, and you can reach back to them later. So it
Okay.
helps you analyze and classify people
Hmm.
through and segment them into different baskets based on how you can, respond to them. So you can really come back with saying, oh, a person X is going to purchase with a probability of 30%,
Hmm.
and there is somebody else who's going to purchase with a 60%, provided you give him a discount. So
Yeah.
this entire setup can be something that you go ahead and create, and this eventually helps you better retarget, which is really
Yeah.
the next point that we want.
Exactly, exactly. So I think
So it
retargeting, segmentation as well, right?
absolutely,
Because and we have AI also provides you with ample data. So
yeah,
if I am going ahead and planning to do a campaign, I know that okay, this is what worked last time, this is what AI has predicted, and maybe if I plan my campaign around that, there's a very high chance that the conversion rates are going to be much higher,
yeah,
right? Then of course
absolutely.
Q&A.
Yeah. So, going to Q&A, right? You have a
Mhm.
set of questions that
Yeah,
users are predominantly asking. So, if I take the apparel for an example, right?
yeah,
Is this cloth good for the hot and the humid weather? Can I wash it in laundry, or will I have to wash it alone? Can I wash it with others? Does this is this color going to be long lasting? Items like these, are questions that the salespersons are kind of getting each and every while where they, have to sell a product. And
that's true.
questions like these can very easily be answered because the documentation has really
Mhm.
all of it. So it really knows what is the fit, what size does it go back and settle, what is the material it is made on, what helps, what does not help, and all
Mm.
those items. So these kind of questions really go ahead and help your business answer questions very easily. without, again, a human intervention.
Perfect. Okay. I think now we've spoken about why you need artificial intelligence for your e-commerce business as a whole. I would now like to break it down. But before we break it down, we have put up another poll and we would like you to please go ahead and answer this. If you want a more detailed breakdown of how AI can benefit your business, you can let us know, and we would help you with that. Cool. While our users answer this poll, we will now go ahead and break down why you need AI for every business. So first is, of course, marketing. Marketing, since I am also a marketer, this is one of I have to do in marketing. Whether it is planning campaigns, whether it is making, and a lot of time also goes into the creative aspect of it as well. How do we want to plan our campaigns? What is going to be the next move? And then doing a lot of market research as well. I think AI can take up the automation task, whether it is, sending retargeted campaigns or setting up emails or making sure that, your drip campaign is going out. And then, of course, there is also a lot of updates like your delivery updates. Your order is out for delivery, or, hey, we have a sale coming up. All of these notifications, all of these marketing communications can actually be taken up by AI. AI can also, we all know that there are a lot of AI tools which help you create your emails and marketing SMS and messages as well. So that is where you can leverage AI. And then, of course, you can use your own intervention and then craft it as per as you think would fit best for your user base. There's also campaign analytics. Now, how we use AI to create a campaign, I think once the campaign is over, it is also important to analyze it to see how whether it worked for us or not, whether so AI can actually tell me that, hey, by the way, that sale that you ran on Friday, it did very well and it did 80% more sale. You had 80% more sales as compared to the last time. I think this is, and of course, image recognition is there as well. We have spoken about Length in it, about Myntra being there, Google Lens being there. So many brands doing it, Target and IKEA is also something. And I think it is time now that small and medium-sized e-commerce companies also go ahead and incorporate it in their marketing.
Yeah,
When
so
it comes,
just to add to it, right? It
yes,
becomes so much more interesting with this entire ability to create a marketing campaign, for
yeah,
create an entire template that comes in through that you are going to send it to a customer, right?
yes,
You know that there will be an image, there will be a set of text items, there will be a few bullet points. Let's say you want to give them a coupon through.
of course,
To,
yeah.
to aid a purchase. So this entire thing, if you just give them give your model a flavor of what is wanted, it can really come back with that entire set and give you a response.
That's
And
true.
that can really be customized based on the region that you want to target. So you could have a very different campaign set
Oh,
up
of course, yes,
a
yes,
region for, let's say, somebody in working in the north of India versus somebody lying down south,
of
because the
course.
flavors of it will be very, very different.
True. Like how we just spoke about, we have users all the way from Bangkok, we have users from Spain, right? You
Yeah,
can actually set out those marketing campaigns in hyperlocal language. You can
correct.
Spanish and then for Thai language as well. You can send out your all your communications can be hyperlocal in their regional language, and it can be also segmented to their taste and flavor, because you
Correct.
know where your audience is better based out of. You know where your users are coming from, and
Yeah,
then you can of course market them much better.
sure.
Then of course sales comes in. Now when we talk about sales, I think AI can help a lot in lead qualification. You have tons of leads coming in, then AI can weed out the bad leads for you, so you know that okay, these are the leads that you should be focusing on. And then of course it can help you gather relevant data around it, so that you can also do lead scoring better. You know that okay, this is a lead that is probably Mofu right now, or this is a lead that is probably right now Bofu, so I should be putting a lot more effort into it as compared to a lead that is a tofu or a top of the funnel lead, right? And then of course how it helps automate tasks for marketing. Similarly, AI can help automate tasks for sales as well. So that because sales reps are always that busy, always have to be on calls, they always have to be answering queries. They can actually go ahead and give their time to better tasks and save their resources. Now, when it comes to once the marketing and sales part is over, AI also helps in a lot of post sales activities, right? So customer success. So customer success, for example, if you are an e-commerce brand, since we are talking about apparels or we are talking about cosmetics, skincare, everything. If I am on a website and I bought a white shirt, there is always an opportunity to cross sell and upsell with AI, right? It can tell me that, hey, by the way, you bought this white shirt. Why don't you pair this with this blue jeans, or why don't you pair this with this, this denim skirt? We also have an offer running around it. So this is like a massive, great cross sell opportunity. And then of course there is personalized support. AI knows that okay, she has bought this earlier. So if I go on a chatbot and if I tell them, hey, by the way, hi, it can tell me, hey, Shubhagi, hi, how was your last purchase? Do you have any queries regarding any of these purchases, and how may I help you better? Of course, then there is also 24/7 real-time customer support. We are not available, our agents are not available 24/7. There are weekends, they are also humans, they need leave. I mean, and a lot of customers might be on the website during night time at 12 a.m. and you might not have an agent available. Plus,
Right.
agents, as you just said, an agent can only be on like 3 to 4 queries at one time, right? So then response rate goes down, and AI can actually help you just elevate it, like instant response. And then for a agent to go ahead and hop onto a query from one query might take like 5 minutes, right? Because they are
Yeah.
talking to one customer at one point, they're solving their query, and then for them to hop onto the other one can take like 5 to 10 minutes. And in that point of time, drop offs can happen.
Yeah.
So by the time that that agent is busy and human intervention is not required, AI can actually go ahead and solve as much queries. I think data points are also for these something that we cover much later, that you'll be talking about. And then of course multilingual support. For example, you are a Spanish brand that is also catering to Indian audience or English audience, or you are an English brand that is catering to Spanish audience. You can train your bot for Spanish language, and if when your customers or your users come onto the chatbot, they can ask questions, and they can ask questions in Spanish, and you will be able to answer them back in Spanish. I think this is one capability that we are not talking about enough. The fact that AI lets you target demographics, lets you target segments that earlier you were not able to, because either there was a language barrier, or the time was not right, or because different time zones. So you need to then also get in agents that are either they know how to speak that language. So then you need to
Correct.
the whole cost of
Invest.
yes, the whole investment cost goes up, and AI really cuts it out for you. You just have to go ahead and train the bot, and then it can cater to audience that is in a different time zone, in a different language, and it lets you penetrate your brand over there as well.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm really excited about this whole thing. Yeah. Also, now that we have spoken so much about text theory, um why don't you go ahead? And I know data is something that excites you a lot, Jay, because why don't you tell us what are some of the success metrics that some of the brands that we've been working with have seen?
Okay, so I'll take it that way. So what we've really done is we've helped this entire setup that we are talking about take it through a lot of the small and medium e-commerce brands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what we went ahead and noticed is that people are really accepting this through
That's true.
as a mode of communication.
Mm-hmm.
So when people really come and talk to your bots across or your agents across multiple websites,
Mm-hmm.
the assistant that is there is able to answer close to 95% of the total queries.
That's true.
Now, what that helps you is, and mind you, this is not on a single platform. So it can
Wow.
really be on the
Oh yes, of
website
course.
or WhatsApp or on
Mm.
Facebook or on Instagram.
So omni-channel support as well.
Omni-channel support. You
Yes.
can really be across on any channel and provide the same set
Hmm.
to your customers, and most 95% of the queries have been answered. So
So
I
if you had to number it, Jay, how would you like here we're talking about percentage, right? So
Yeah, so if I would tell you, let's say there are 100 questions that users have in a day.
yeah.
Only 6 questions are those that an agent would have to answer, and
Wow.
4 of them were answered by your assistant, which is an AI powered assistant.
Wow, that saves so much time. I mean, like then agents, you can, as a human resource, actually go and invest your time into something that is probably way more important. And
Absolutely.
the frequent queries, or as we have spoken about FAQs as well, they can just be taken care by the bot.
Bot. Yeah, absolutely. So that is one thing that we've gone ahead and have our
Hmm.
customers set up.
Hmm.
Along with that, with the new version of GPT coming in, Engati does provide a version of itself, which is eSense GPT.
Yes.
And close to 75% of the total queries that were
Hmm.
answered across by eSense GPT have been positively voted. So what we are then going ahead and saying is based on the feedback that we've got from the end users who are
Yeah.
using the bot or the assistant, we have gone ahead and realized that we are close to 75% meeting the demands of what they are looking for. And that really, serves up a lot of purpose. So when you really know, because we know, right? When we talk internally also, we really
That's true.
realize that the questions that we have can be a lot ambiguous.
Hmm.
So even our engines that we set up, if they're able to analyze and answer close to this accuracy, is really a good benchmark that we've set up for ourselves.
That is true.
And the last one is really something that
Yeah.
excites a lot of brands the most, which is a 150% growth in lead conversion. So you have people coming in, there is an automated setup
Hmm.
and an AI powered assistant that comes back and helps you push it through. And over the month over month, you've really seen a hike in the people who are coming in, really shows you the returns that you've got for the
Of
investment.
course. Yes. I mean, 150% increase in leads within 6 months of deployment is nothing small. And it
Yeah,
increases your chances of conversion,
conversion
I
by
think,
one.
yes, by multiple folds. Wow, perfect. I think one last thing is before brands go ahead and incorporate AI into their businesses, you also need to make sure you're keeping certain things in mind, so you're prepared. Like, for example, all of your privacy concerns, make sure that your country regulations, guidelines, everything you're legally following everything. You're not surpassing any uh, uh, data irregularities. Then you're also making, I'm so sorry. So, yeah, there's also implementation and maintenance cost that is involved. So make sure you're doing the calculations right, and you are making sure you're reaching the break-even point in a stipulated timeline. Then, of course, there is, although we have spoken about so much pros of AI, we also need to make sure that don't rely so much on it that you just let it be. Always maintain a human oversight, right? So these are some of the things that you should keep in mind when you are going ahead and incorporating AI into your e-commerce business. Now, Jay, the thing is, we have it has all been theory, numbers, and everything. It's time you go ahead and show our users what it is like to actually go and chat with an AI bot.
Sure. So I'll very quickly share my screen.
Uh-huh.
Is it up? You can see it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So what I'll do is this is a bot that we set up specifically for the demo, and we are not really showing you any live customer bot solely for the
Mhm.
reason of data privacy. Yeah. We don't really want to have our customers get impacted because of the demos that we do. So what we'll do is this is a bot that we have set up. It is an electronic brand. And what we'll really go ahead and do, we'll have a few questions that we have set up, and then we'll have those on see how GPT performs and gets you the
Yes.
answers.
Yes.
So, being an electronic brand, what I really want is, let's say, I want a suggestion for a mouse for my sister. Let's say,
Hmm.
I have a sister who's a lot into gaming. I really want a mouse for her. So, yeah. So let's say it's giving me also, yeah, it's come back with saying there is a good wired mouse,
Mhm.
which has a lot of gaming control. There is a comfortable grip that is there. It has a setup. So it really gives me that, and it gives me an option to add to cart and complete the purchase then and there. So mind you, while I show this demo on a web interface, this entire thing is really possible across the different channels. So
Yes.
the flavor will be very similar on website, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on let's say RCS also. So you really can put this through across all your formats. Yeah. Now let's say I have a few questions that I have to ask. I want to know more specifications about it, let's say.
Yes.
So yeah, the bot comes back and says,
Oh,
okay,
wow. Yeah. Just
it
list
has,
down everything.
yeah, it says that it has 5 buttons. It has a one round middle center button. It works with a 10-meter range. Let's say then I go ahead and ask, how have people rated it? What are the reviews? And this entire setup can work in this contextual
Hmm.
workflow as is. So we say, oh, it's a very positive review. It has a very less latency and has a very sturdy build. The overall rating for the product is 5. And then you can go ahead and, make a purchase out of it.
Wow.
Along with
Yeah.
that, you also have the ability, to explore other products. Let's say I'm now looking for wired earphones. Now, all the earphones that you have, let's say I give you an ability to look for these earphones then and there, and then you
Yeah.
can really ask questions out of it.
That's
So let's say
wow.
now if I pick up this product and I want to look at the description for the product.
Mhm.
So it really gives you the entire feel and the flavor of it then and there. So
That's
now this is something that we have covered from an end user perspective.
yeah.
Taking a complete 180, if I take you to how this impacts the end users.
Yeah.
Now I will take you to tell you what it happens for the store owner.
Yes,
So
I
now,
think this was more like a personal shopping experience for
yeah,
users, right? This is more of
correct.
a personal shopper for you.
Yeah,
Now we are looking at it more from the back end, so more from
yeah.
the brand's
Brand's perspective.
internal usage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we've also done is we've gone ahead and used these capabilities to set up an assistant for the seller. So
Okay.
how we've shaped it is it will then be able to answer questions around analyzing your demographics, your sales, your geographies, and giving you insights on top. So let's say I come back and say I want to look at my insights and I
That's
want to look at my marketing insight.
okay.
So it says 3% of my store revenue has come from the last 30 days, and the
Hmm.
revenue generated is 123K INR.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Now let's say I want to look, oh, what were my best sellers?
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, I have a habit of writing questions in full with question mark. This can
Yeah.
really work without it. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
just me going ahead and typing it that way. So it really shows you what are your best sellers for the last 7 days. Now let's say
Hmm.
we tell it, okay, can you give me the breakdown? So let me cut it short. So I'll do breakdown for orders by city.
Hmm.
So it should really come back telling me what are the orders that are by city in the last 7 days. So it really tells me that Mumbai has given me 9 orders and Delhi has given me 3. I
Yeah.
can then go back and look up, how there is a correlation with my product saying, oh, 0.43% of my products are only
Oh,
coming
wow.
from top marketing channels.
That's
So
very
what
niche. Wow.
yeah, so what
Yeah.
this really comes back and tells you that though you are marketing for your brand, the purchase that has really come in is coming for products which are over your top products.
Hmm.
So either you need to realign them or you really need to see the marketing strategy that you are moving to.
That's true. I
So
think this also helps brands know that, okay, next time we are planning a campaign, these are one, two, three things that we should be keeping in mind. So that,
absolutely.
yeah,
It also gives you, for targeting, it gives you a flavor saying what were the best days of the week.
yes.
You went on a Monday when you did the broadcast on a last Monday, you got let's say a 40% read rate,
Hmm.
which from e-commerce terminology is a very good conversion percent. We really do a lot of cold messaging where we really see people go ahead not open messages for emails, right? We get an email from Amazon or Flipkart every other day where
Yes.
and we still don't go ahead and open it. It really
Yeah.
goes back into our spam or the
Yeah.
delete. So for e-commerce, the read rates are really very low. And if you are able to see even a 3 or 4% spike based on your own data, It really helps you, decide and discuss on what happens next. Would you prefer that? Would you want to change your strategy through and items like that?
Hmm.
Yeah. So I think I'll stop here. That was what I really wanted to show.
I think it's time that our users, sorry, our viewers go ahead and test the bot. You have tried it. I think it's time for them as well. So please go ahead and scan the QR code from your phones and you can test it. I think even I should try it. Wait, let
So
me,
please go ahead.
yeah, let me scan it and try it. Yeah, it's opening. It has opened up. It is, I'm here to assist you every step at the way of the way at concept card. What should I ask, Jay? What do you think? Should I explore products? Should I track order? Should I ask a query?
Yeah, go ahead, explore products.
Explore? Yeah, even I was
Yeah.
thinking I'll explore. Wow, we have multiple options. There's headphone earpads, there's wireless earphones, there's wireless speakers. What should I ask? Laptop accessories, wireless speakers?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. We have an entire carousel.
Yeah.
There is Marshall, there is Covey. It has given me multiple options, and now it is also asking me, should it show me more like this, or
Yeah.
whether I want to
So
know more details, or I have a question, or do I have a question?
to add to these details, right? All that
Yeah,
you are seeing right now is
hmm,
again personalized.
of
So we
course.
really know the area that you are coming from.
Okay.
And based on those details, we've tried to model it in a way that people in your area, your domain are really trying to access a particular set of products.
Huh.
And for people who are coming in from the first time, coming in from a new domain, it is really the business that can go ahead and decide. So you can tell me that, oh, you want to see your bestsellers thrown out to the end users, and we have that capability of pushing it through.
Wow, that's like hyper personalization, not
Yeah.
even personalization at this point.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Let me go on view details and
Yeah.
let's see what it tells me. Just a second. Oh wow, here is the product link. So I can just go ahead and click on the link and I'll be able to view everything.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope you all, everybody who's here on the call is also trying out the bot. And because I also wanted, we both, Jay and I honestly wanted to thank you for staying with us towards the end of this masterclass. And as a small token of thank, we want to offer you INR 1,000 worth of credits. Whenever you get on a call with any of our with our team, you can just mention to them that, hey, I attended your masterclass, and you can mention the code ecom 1000 and our team will give you those free credits. Also, if you want more similar content, our team will be putting up the link in the chatbot, and you can go ahead and browse similar content there. If you have any questions, if anybody in the audience has any questions, please feel free to ask. We are Jay loves them and he is eagerly waiting to answer a lot of them. Yeah. Let's see if any of our users have any questions. Okay, we do have some coming in. Uh, wait, just a second. Yes, I think one thing that a lot of brands have asked, or even when I was working on this on the research for this, I was speaking to a couple of our prospects, and one of them asked me that how do you calculate the metrics for this, or how do you calculate the revenue for this or return for this when you incorporate AI into an e-commerce
So,
brand?
yeah, so what we really do is we try to analyze users coming in, and
Uh-huh.
let's say you've invested in the entire service. So if I put out the numbers right out to you,
Mm-hmm.
each query that the user asks costs us somewhere around 40 paisa,
Okay.
which is really, and so 1,000 and if I put this out
Mm-hmm.
for 1,000 queries, it just is really two Starbucks coffees.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what that really does is, for attending a large number of users, you still
Uh-huh.
have to go ahead and pay a very small amount.
Of
And
course.
what that really goes ahead and helps you, and let's say now these out of the 100 to 1,000 users that we've gone ahead and talked to, if at all there is a conversion that comes through this flow. So for e-commerce, it is very easy to measure conversion because it is an order. So
Okay.
if really there is an order that comes through this entire pipeline, you can really come back and attribute it and say that it has really come from the Gen AI workflow, or you can come back and say, oh, it is because of the assistance that has come in.
Okay. Wow, we have a lot of questions. I'm so happy. Aditya Sharma is asking, how much time will it take for me to implement this on my Shopify store?
Okay, so for Shopify, what Shopify really does is it helps you get. So ideally, Engati, what Engati does, I'll really now put it to Engati and see how we can really go ahead and help you. So what Engati does is Engati does offer an integration with Shopify directly. So we'll try to take in the data from your Shopify store and your order details and let's say your product details and try to get in the details from your description directly, and we'll try to scrape details from your website. All of these put together can really then go ahead and act as a bot for their entire workflow.
Wow.
The amount of time ideally that I would say would really be let's say 2 to 3 days with the testing that the end use, as in you being the business, do it. So it the workflow that we have here is very streamlined. So it really will not take time. The ideal time that for Gen AI use cases we take is more for testing out the queries, refining it
That's
through
true.
adding more variations or versions to it.
So the
So
training part takes more time,
more
and the
time. Yeah.
implementation is usually two to
Implementation
three
is,
days.
yeah.
Okay. I think at the same time, there's also one of our users who's asking us, do you support only Shopify? Because I think they have a WooCommerce store. Yes, we do support WooCommerce. Yeah.
So ideally, again, take adding to what Shubhangi mentioned, right? It is this can really be done outside Shopify and WooCommerce too.
Yes.
The only point of us is we need to have access to the data that you really want your end users to get answers from, and it can really come in through that way. And if you really want us to measure the conversion bits and the ROI bits, that is when we need order details from you.
That's
For
yeah.
Shopify and WooCommerce, though, we have an entire automated setup which includes, getting the orders from your end, helping you send notifications to customers, and there is an entire setup that we have over it, and hence it makes life much more easier. But for even for people that are not on Shopify or WooCommerce, let's say you have a Unicommerce store, or you come back and tell me you have some other store that you've set up across, or you have your own website which you want to all the.
Okay. Okay. Hari Shankar is asking, when we are displaying carousel, he saw that there were 9 to 10 products. Now he is asking, what if his collection has around 30 products?
Okay, so again, this what this really does is now I agree. So I it's a very good question, and I will take two parts of the answer. First one is it possible to show 30 products in a carousel? The answer is yes. I think right now also, if there is an ability that it gives you to say show me more.
Okay.
Okay. So when you click on the show me more button, a similar carousel of 8 or 9 or 10 will come through, and that entire process will flow through. Now, a very overt answer to this one could really be if your best products are really up in the top 10, do you really need the other 20?
That's
So that's where comes the personalization and showing up the most purchased products bit. So we have that incorporated, that most of your purchase products or the way you want to show a product. So let's say tomorrow you come back and tell me that I am running an ad campaign for a particular product, which is not my bestseller, but I'm trying to push that through. Can you go ahead and re-rank the product so that this product comes up first? So that is something that we have the capability of getting that done. So even when we say that the 30 products in the carousel can be possible using workarounds, what we are really saying is your top 10 products are what matters. And e-commerce,
That's
you
true.
all know, right? It runs on the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
80% of the business really comes from the top 20 products. So
Yeah.
ideally, if you give your end users what they want, they'll really not look and hamper on for the others.
That's true. Now we have a question from Mark who's asking, when using this on WhatsApp for countries that do not have WhatsApp payments, is it best to move the user to a web page when it comes to complex ordering, such as, color, size, and other details, a lot of filtering that users do? Or do you feel that users can also achieve this on an interface like WhatsApp?
Ideally, what we've noted from the customers that we are working with is that people are really flexible on making the entire purchase on WhatsApp. So
Yes,
the idea really is that because people move out onto the website, there is a hindrance and there is a possibility of
or drop off.
losing your customer.
Yes.
So, for places where there is no direct integration with WhatsApp, there are really a lot more other providers that help you get your payments through. A major preference would really be to get the purchase done then and there,
Hmm.
because you've really invested a lot in getting the person first on WhatsApp.
Yes.
And then if you are moving them to the website, you are really having a probability of losing them through.
Okay. Uh, Perfect. Now there's Rishika. She's asking us, what do you think the future of AI for ecom looks like? Okay.
Okay. So I really can't see the future though.
Okay.
But what it really looks like from the current space that we are in is that the way people have accepted a wave like ChatGPT, the motion of it looks in a very similar way. People will tend to be more used to making a purchase on platforms than going to a website and making a purchase. And items, the use cases will become much more simpler.
Hmm.
So let's say earlier we used to have a hire a photographer, have somebody sit behind a Photoshop
Hmm.
and really set up your photos for your items through.
Hmm.
Let's say you want to create a product catalog, you really needed 10 people hired to have that of a quality. With
Hmm.
AI coming in, this entire effort becomes much more easier. You just need to give it a version of the product that you have and say that, oh, my background needs to be like this, can you help make it slightly smoother? Or let's say I want to push in, I think we covered marketing campaigns through, right? If I
Okay.
want to send them a notification template which says, okay, I'll give you some information, or let's say you visited my website for that matter,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I give you the ability to enter the details for your leads, and I'll send you a detail later. Or for that matter, something like an order an out of stock product.
Hmm.
So or notify me. So when the product comes back to stock, I just need to send you a notification saying, oh, looks like you were looking for something which was out of stock then. Now it is back in stock. Take a 20% discount and
Yes.
purchase.
So good retargeting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
all these are something that people, I see e-commerce accept very easily and take it through, because it is so the manual cost that was coming in now gets transferred to an AI powered assistant, and still you save a lot, and there is a higher
Hmm.
probability of conversion. So
That's true.
I see it go in that direction. But yeah,
Wow.
let's see
Of
where
course.
it goes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So Kelly is asking, how can I get a recording of the session? Kelly, we will forward you the recording in a day or tomorrow. And yes, she is also saying she did not have the time to scan the QR bot. Our team has put the link in the chat below. You can try the bot once again. We have more questions. Adam is asking us, can GTP retrieve API integrations content, that is, for an online travel agency to book hotels, experience, or flights?
Okay, so I think what we do here at Engati is we don't send external third-party details, your details to a third party. So even when we say that we have a GPT integration, what we really do is we try to keep all your details which are PII supported with us only, and we
Hmm.
send GPT a flavor of what they should expect and answer. And
Okay.
from the response that comes in, we try to model it through. So a direct integration of what you are doing is like your data is not getting exposed. Now,
Of
if you are
course.
really asking me if the system will be able to retrieve data from your, let's say, your databases and help you make decisions in future, yes, that pipeline is in place. So what we'll really do is there will be some place where we allow you, where we hit one of your APIs to get your details, and eventually send a part of it or a portion of it to GPT to understand or rephrase the answer that you want to put through.
Perfect.
So I think taking a very a hotel booking kind of use case for that matter, right? If you come back and tell me, let's say somebody's come to book a hotel and is looking for a presidential suite, let's say.
True.
What I really need to do is I really need to look up the availability of the suit, and that is something that I'll hit one of your APIs and get details. Based on the responses that I get and based on the availability, I can really answer it saying, yes, it is available. And here are the different options that you have at limited prices. Or go back and tell him that, no, I don't have an available option. I can really come back and choose another date.
Okay.
So this entire workflow creation of sorts is something that is really possible. And along with that, with what it helps you do is it helps you, get the flavor of a conversation. So
That's
it
true.
really looks as if you're not talking to a bot which says, "Hi, I am here to talk to you." It will really give you that flavor, saying it really looks as if you're talking to me in this
Yeah.
interview.
Okay. We have two more questions left, one from Hari Shankar and one from an anonymous attendee. So first is, do you support any other channels other than WhatsApp and website? Of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So we have a lot of channels that we support. A few of them being Instagram, Facebook, RCS, GBM, and all of these. So yeah, the channel support is all in there.
Okay. Harishankar is saying that since he is already an Engati user, can we please arrange a live demo where we can explore eSense more comprehensively? Yes, of course, Harishankar, I will get this done for you. I'll just get the sales team in touch and we'll set up a live demo. They'll get in touch with you right after this masterclass. Perfect. Okay. I think this was a very intense, good session that we have here had, Jay, right? I am sure you had fun. I had a lot of fun chatting with you. I'm pretty sure everybody who was on this call also had a lot of fun. If you have more questions, please, you can always get in touch with us. We would love you to try the product. And as we mentioned earlier as well, if you get on a call with our team, please mention the code ecom1000 and we will get you worth 1000 worth credits. And for more content, have our team has pasted the link of our other on-demand webinars as well, and you can go ahead and check them out. And Adam, yes, we do support hospitality, and you can check out our page. Our team has posted the link in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. Thank you, Jeff, for such good knowledge and helping a lot of. I'm pretty sure the kind of questions that we got, we realized that a lot of brands were very curious and they want to learn, they want to integrate AI into their business. Great. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely day. We'll see you soon with another masterclass. Have a great time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.